In every era, power leaves a mark. History remembers. The world reacts. This is Rowan, and this is Civica Insights. 3 American service members are dead. 5 more are seriously wounded. And according to the United States President, this may only be the beginning. In a newly released video address, Donald Trump vowed to avenge the deaths following what he described as a massive joint U.S.-Israeli strike on Iran.
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action.
Calling the Iranian regime a force waging war against civilization itself, the president framed the campaign as both necessary and inevitable. But how did the situation escalate to this point? U.S. Central Command confirmed that the casualties occurred during what the Pentagon has named Operation Epic Fury. Details remain limited. The military has not disclosed where or exactly when the deaths happened, only stating that major combat operations are still ongoing. And Trump himself issued a warning. Sadly, there will likely be more before it ends. More casualties, more escalation, more uncertainty. He claims the joint offensive struck hundreds of targets inside Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, air defense systems, and naval assets. According to him, parts of Iran's military command structure have been dismantled. But Iranian officials tell a different story. The Revolutionary Guard Corps has threatened what it calls its most intense offensive operation ever, targeting U.S. and Israeli military installations. Reports indicate retaliatory strikes aimed at American bases in Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates. So the question now becomes, is this controlled retaliation or the start of a prolonged regional war? Trump has suggested the conflict could last 4 weeks or so. Yet history shows that wars in the Middle East rarely follow predictable timelines. The president also warned that an Iran armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would pose a dire threat to Americans, despite ongoing debates within the intelligence community over Iran's actual nuclear intentions. Is this preemptive defense or strategic overreach? Meanwhile, Europe is being drawn in. The United Kingdom has agreed to allow U.S. forces to use British bases for what it calls limited defensive purposes, citing risks to British lives as Iranian retaliation intensifies across the Gulf. The battlefield is widening. Missile exchanges, naval strikes, coalition coordination, regional alliances shifting in real time. Trump ended his address with a direct ultimatum to Iran's military: surrender and receive immunity, or face what he called certain death. But history asks us something important. When ultimatums are issued between powerful nations, who actually steps back? Is Iran militarily constrained or simply preparing for a larger counterstrike? Can this remain a limited campaign, or has the Middle East entered a new phase of open confrontation? The situation remains fluid. Casualty numbers may rise, diplomatic channels appear strained, and the world watches closely. Because once major combat operations begin, they rarely unfold exactly as planned. And tonight, the most pressing question remains: is this the peak of escalation, or only the opening chapter?